Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm doing the questions in video format because I have no motivation to do this except for the motivation to get third place by helping my classmates answer this. I'm only doing the first question because I've got an English test tomorrow and I've been too busy. So, the first question, which is on my phone, they wanted some nonsense. They gave us b and some other values. So, the nonsense was prove that the derivative is this, given that b equals, I think, -5, and then c equaled, so, I forgot. Let me check. I am not prepared for this, man, but I do have my answers. Where is this nonsense? There we go. Yeah, they gave us b is equal to -5, c equals to -8, and d is equal to 12. So, to prove that this derivates into this, I just find the derivative. Well, there's one there. So, x squared minus 5, x cubed minus 5x squared plus minus 8x, and what's the last value? Minus 12, no, plus 12. Plus 12. So first things first, this becomes 3x squared minus 10x. There's supposed to be an x there, and then that's minus 8x. What is? Oh, that is it. That's a 0, not an 8. My handwriting's not the neatest. So anyway, that's first question done, ma'am. 8.2, the turning points. Firstly, we equate this nonsense to 0, and then we use the quadratic formula. Well, I already did that, and the quadratic formula says that this nonsense is equal to -2/3 and 4. Then we get the value of this by substituting it up here, and then 4 pops out a value of -36, and this pops out a value of, it's either 14 or 19.815. There we go. 2 questions down. We're almost done. Then they want this formula for g. Well, they gave us the 2 bloody points, so we just substitute that in for the gradient. It's going to be m is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 being 0, y1 being minus 16, x2 being 6, and x1 being 2. So minus 16 becomes regular 16, and 6 minus 2 becomes 4. So 16/4, the gradient is equal to 4. Then we can substitute it for any point. I'm going to substitute it for this first point. Y equals 4x plus c. There it. 4 times 6 plus c, since x is 6, y is 0. Take this to this side. C equals -4 times 6. So c equals -24. Therefore, the equation is y equals 4x minus 24. We are on a roll. Now let me just wipe this nonsense out, get the last question done. Then I'm going to go get the last 2 or 3 questions done. Then I'm going to go do some English. I'm going to go sleep. I'm going to play Subnautica. And then that's going to be that. Well, this is clear enough. What was the next question? Oh, they want the length of AM. They gave us X. So the first thing we do is we substitute. Since G, in this graph, both reach point A, we can just substitute either. G is the easiest formula, so -36 equals 4x minus 24. So we take minus 24 to this side, it becomes plus 24. Then we divide by 4, that equals x, and this equals, it's somewhere in here. according to my notes, it equals -3. Then we use the distance formula. The distance is equals to x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. It's just the square root of all that nonsense. So the square root of x2 it's our turning point. We found that in this question. I forgot to mention that. And that was 4, so it's 4 minus 3 squared plus -36 minus 36 squared. If you punch that all into your calculator, you should get 7. Now we've got most of the questions down. Only one left. Then I can go to sleep and just wing the English test tomorrow. Fudge. Okay, so for this question here, it wants to know for which values will f increase. F being the graph. So you see the graph is going up until it reaches this turning point. And then it goes down, then it goes up after that turning point. So whenever x is less than this value, whenever x is greater than that value, that's going to be really easy to plot. Okay. So we just write. We look at our notes. What was the first turning point? Was -2/3. So when x is less than -2/3, or x is greater than, I believe this value was 4. That is that question. Now for the final question, then we're done here. I forgot it. Oh, it was concave down. Well, for concave down, it's second derivative less than 0. To get the second derivative, we derivative this. So we get 6x minus 10. You know, you minus 1 here, there's like a little 1 there. Minus it, that becomes x0, blah, blah, blah. So 6x is greater than 10. So then x greater than 10/6. So whenever x is greater than 10/6, voila, we have done all this nonsense. I can finally go to sleep. Adios. But if you want, you can look closely at this math, which I have now done, and it is correct. Sweet. See you, man. I'm never going to do math again in my life.